I am so excited. So naturally, I want to come here and share. Guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shanna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of four. We are in our 7th year of homeschooling, and we choose secular curriculum choices whenever we can. So today, I want to come here and I want to share with you the next installment of my Meet the Maker series, and that is with Jasmine Lee, who has set up the Texas Homeschool Expo. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. We are talking today with Jasmine, who founded and started the Texas Homeschool Expo. And we're gonna jump right into it with her. But if you're looking for a link to the Texas Homeschool Expo, it will be down in the description box, or I'm gonna throw it right up here in the corner for easy access. I'm so excited about this. One, I have never been to a homeschool convention or anything, so I am so excited to attend. And two, I am actually speaking 2 sessions. One is going to be about managing your time and the trap that homeschooling in Texas can be. And the second is going to be about how to homeschool multiple kids. So let's jump right into our interview with Jasmine. All right, Jasmine, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am a homeschooling mom. That's why I'm in this world, Got into homeschooling like a lot of people because of COVID. And so sort of fell into it unintentionally because I'm also a single mom. And a lot of people, especially me, don't think that homeschooling is something that's an option when you also have to be the sole breadwinner. But
Absolutely.
I have been making it work and loving it. And I never really pictured that I could feel like a stay-at-home mom and still work and make money and pay all the bills. But I feel like a mix of both right now. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm a homeschooling mom to one son. We've been doing it for about 3.5 years now. And aside from that, I also run my own business. I work from home and I just try to keep some semblance of sanity in the mix of it all.
A lot of people can relate to that statement. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the Texas Homeschool Expo?
Yes. So the Texas Homeschool Expo is designed to be an event that's open to any and everybody. So if you currently homeschool, if you thinking about homeschooling, if your grandkids are homeschooled, it's designed to have something that will appeal to all people, whether they're getting started or have been doing it for a decade and bring those resources together because when you homeschool you can't just run to Walmart and flip through homeschool materials, and
So
it can be
true.
hard to get online, and look up all of the previews and get an understanding of what's out there. And when you can get your hands on something and flip through it, ask a person questions about it, it just makes it easier to make a decision and to understand what resources are out there. And the other thing is not everybody knows how to do research online and find things. So you may not realize that there are homeschool dance classes, homeschool orchestras, that there's a prom for homeschoolers right near you. And so this is bringing all of that together, bringing these national curriculum companies, local co-ops and groups, local resources and companies that provide homeschool specific programming all into one place. So families can come, walk around, and learn about what's accessible in their area or nationally for homeschoolers that will appeal to them. And specifically, that will appeal to them no matter what kind of homeschooler that they are. Because as you know, many things, especially in Texas, are geared specifically for religious homeschoolers. And that's certainly a huge category of homeschoolers, but it is not the only category of homeschoolers. And I wanted something to exist that everyone, whether you're a religious homeschooler, but maybe not Christian, or you are
Well,
not a
I
religious,
know it's possible.
right, you might be something else. Or you may not include religion in your homeschool at all. Whether you are religious or not, you may not have that in your homeschool. And there wasn't really a place that I saw for those resources to be shared. So that was the purpose of the Homeschool Expo, is to bring all of those resources together. So if you want religious stuff, it's there. If you want purely secular resources, it's there. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you just want things to teach your kid, it's there.
Such a good point because even with my platform, there are things somebody will mention something to me I've never heard about. There's so much out there and so many amazing resources that if you don't somehow have it in your web of connection, you'll just never know about it. So situations like this where we can walk around table to table and physically see things and physically hear from people or talk with other people who have used things, I think is going to be such an amazing and invaluable resource. So let me just jump ahead just a little since we're there. Which vendors do you have coming? Can you give me like a short list to give me just an idea?
Sure. So, some of the national curriculum companies participating include Thinkwell, Teaching Textbooks, Oak Meadow. OutSchool is our top sponsor for both locations of our expo and offers, basically everything. We'll have Curiosity Chronicles, we'll homeschooling. And so these are just some of the curriculum companies. But we've also got venues. So we have Holocaust museums for both Dallas and San Antonio participating that share information on human rights. We have art museums, we have nature venues, we have nature schools. Schools like forest schools and those types that are participating, people who do music lessons, opportunities for literature and science, and local opportunities for youth sports organizations and orchestra organizations. So this is just a sample because each location has over 50 exhibitors participating. So it's a wide range.
You said each location. So you're having two locations this year.
That's
One is
right.
in Falls and one is in Dallas Fort Worth. Is that right? Well,
That's
Grapevine.
right. In Grapevine, but Dallas Fort Worth area. And
Right.
this is the first year for that to have two locations. Um,
First year, but this is only the second year, right?
that's right.
Right. Well, that you in there next year for year three. I like it. We'll just keep adding cities.
You know what? That's ultimately that was the vision. Was like we'll have three, one in DFW, one for Austin and San Antonio, and one for Houston, and just cover the whole state.
Nice. There you go. That's all that matters, right? Just those three. It's fine. We'll get everybody brought in. I was like, I know some people I can send your way if you come into Houston for sure. For sure. Okay. So when we covered why you started the expo with you telling me a little bit about the expo and it's that access to resources because there's not many, which adds another level of difficulty for secular curriculum choices. Okay, so and we've talked about what the expo has to offer. Further into that, what does the expo have to offer? We've talked about vendors. There's also going to be speakers.
That's right. Speakers like you. So, super excited about the sessions because it's one of the changes from last year to this year is that we're going to have twice as many sessions being offered. And so, we have speakers that are arranged from companies. So, representatives from various curriculum companies, some of the ones I mentioned, like Oak Meadow, will be doing a session. So some of these representatives will talk about how you can use their curriculum because just looking at it, you don't always know how to apply it. And so they'll walk through that. We've also got homeschooling parents who are just experienced homeschoolers who can share what they've learned because experience is the best teacher, and who can come and share what they've experienced and what they've observed. And then also individuals from some of these venues. So some of the museums will send their education staff to talk about how you can make teaching a certain subject more interesting, whether at their venue or just at home. So there's sessions that will talk about how to educate and how to homeschool children that have special learning differences or special learning needs. How to homeschool, like one of the sessions you're going to do, multiple age ranges at once, which applies to the majority of homeschoolers.
Yes, it does.
um, how to make science more fun and how to apply science at home, how to teach your kids to read and different techniques and strategies for that, how to get started and what are those first steps. These are all some of the sessions that'll be taking place. So, in addition to walking around and looking at these exhibitor booths, there's going to be these education sessions taking place throughout the day, both days. And with that, there's a certain type of session that we're adding this year that's going to be really exciting, which is designed specifically for our kids. And so there are interactive youth focused sessions where the kids can come in and get hands on, and there's writing seminars where they're going to do an actual writing exercise with the kids. Are science programs. They're going to do hands on science experiments there. There's a music class being taught. And so your kids can come in and actually get hands on and try something. It gives you an idea, is this a subject that they're interested in that you can dive further into? Is this particular curriculum and the company that's leading the session one that works well for your child, and does it interest you? And so these are opportunities for the kids to get hands on while the parents sit in the back of the room and observe.
Okay, so this is where the parents watch. Is there like childcare for the parents to kind of go and do their own thing, or is it like this where it's the structured seminars?
So we don't have separate childcare. What we do have, in addition to these seminars that the kids can get hands on with, is there's also a dedicated area at both locations that's a small play area for our younger learners. So our preschoolers and younger elementary ages that just need to let off some steam because they've been walking around and just standing next to mom and dad looking at things for a while. And so we actually have a play area that has some toys and games where they can go and just have a little bit of fun for themselves while perhaps the parents take a chance to look through their bag and see what all they've gathered and look through the materials. So we do have that. We also have concessions so people can grab a bite to eat because hangry children and hangry parents, it's not a good combination.
Not good, not good. And especially not a giant room full of them.
So
How many people are you anticipating, or did you have last year?
So last year in Grapevine, we had over 3,000 people take part over the course of the 2 days. It was a
These
great crowd.
is that actual homeschoolers or prospective homeschoolers? Did you have a mix?
So actually, yeah, when people buy tickets, we ask those kinds of questions so we know who's coming. And it was a mix. It was about 60% prospective homeschoolers. It's a lot of people interested in understanding how homeschooling works. And the other 40% was existing experienced homeschoolers. And so we really make sure we've got something for both. So there are sessions talking about how to avoid burnout, how to not lose yourself, how to find your mom community for our homeschooling moms. And we've got these sessions. So it's not just for the newbies, but if you have a friend who's been thinking about it, this is a great way for them to come out and learn what homeschooling is all about. And it's not just the sessions and the exhibitors, it's talking to the other people who are attending. I had a lot of people who wrote to me afterwards and said, I was able to meet other homeschooling families and we chatted and we exchanged information. And now I have some homeschooling friends in my area that I can reach out to and
Invaluable. Oh,
mentors.
it's so invaluable. I think especially after the reason you started homeschooling, after that whole situation, having a community, the importance of community is so important. And I found that, there was a large push, 3.5, 4 years ago that encouraged a lot of people to start homeschooling. But even now, I think people stuck it out and they're like, no, it's fine. They can go back. But there's more and more and more people joining us, and it's less and less crazy, like, the idea of it. And there's more and more resources, which is so exciting. So I am so excited to come and meet people and see vendors and learn new things. And like you said, network with just other homeschoolers because it's so rare that you really get a good large group of people together to talk about homeschool. And I'm so curious to wonder how many of us homeschoolers rope in a friend who's maybe not busy that day. Right? Maybe their kids are at school and they've got some free time, they're going to come along, who turn into those next year's
The
homeschoolers.
future homeschoolers. I know for me personally, I have several friends who don't homeschool and they're listening all the time to me talking about all the trips that we go on and the activities that we do and we're learning this together and a lot of them will say to me, "Man, would you homeschool my kids?"
Matter is you guys seem to have so much fun. Like, yeah, that's kind of the point, right?
Join us. Come have fun. And I just love learning alongside my son. I'm learning new things all the time. It's not just him learning things. And so I think most homeschooling families feel that way, that we're learning together, we're experiencing things together. And then you just walk around in day to day life and you go, hey, you see this? Remember what we learned about that? And my son does that all the time, points something out on a TV commercial and says, "Oh, I know that, or I know where that is because we learned about that in geography, or it was a culture that we studied." So being able to share this information and spread it is huge and is a big part of the timing. The whole reason that I do these in late May and early June is because the school year wrapped up. People are thinking of next school year and maybe saying, you know what? Maybe I want something different. This is a good time to start planning and thinking, or if you're already a homeschooler, to start saying, well, what curriculum do we want? Do we want to change it up? Do we want to add something new? Do we want to enroll in a homeschool art class or whatnot? So this is a good time to be planning ahead and thinking for that next school year.
I think a real service that you're doing for the homeschool community with this is that the perception of homeschooling is that you are alone, right? It's solitude. It's not community
Mhm.
and large groups and classes. And it's that, that notion that we're socially we're awkward and locked in all the time. So I'm excited to see, 3,000 like-minded folks. I am so excited to just be in that where people get it because in your real life, people don't get it.
Right.
It's hard
No,
to
they
find
never understand. What are you doing? When are they going back to real
that
school? I'm like, this
real
is
school.
this is it. We're doing this forever.
Like the craziness. Okay, so we've talked about who the expo is for. It's for everyone. It's geared toward all kinds of homeschoolers, prospective homeschoolers, people who want to learn more about homeschool and support homeschoolers. Talk to me about the locations, and then we'll go into the cost.
Mhm. Okay. So the first one coming up is in May, May 21st and 22nd, and that one is in New Braunfels. So that is a great location for anyone coming from the Austin, San Antonio area, or anyone who knows about historic New Braunfels and just wants to take a vacation
Great. You should
and
go every
combine
single time.
homeschooling with some sightseeing.
It's so good. Are you close to which region of the state are you in?
I'm in DFW, which is why it started there. So it
Okay, all
started
right.
closer
I'll
to
give you that
home.
makes sense. Fine.
And that is the second location. So on June 7th and 8th, it'll be in Grapevine, which is right in the middle of the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And for those who want to come from out of town, Grapevine touches DFW Airport. So if you were to fly in and want to make again a vacation out of that, you absolutely could because there's so many amazing things to do right there in the Grapevine area with the Great Wolf Lodge, and Grapevine itself has a ton of natural parks and a lake and museums and just there's a ton of great things to do. So one of the things people don't realize is that the Texas Homeschool Expo isn't only useful to people in Texas. Because a lot of our exhibitors are national or offer online services. And so, if you live in an area where there is nothing like this, if you're in an area where there are no homeschool conventions, expos that appeal to everyone, and that are open and they're going to have these resources, because some of our like our history exhibitors like woke homeschooling and curiosity chronicles, you're not going to see them at a lot of these other homeschool conventions.
Not the
But
right audience, for lack of a better
exactly,
term.
they're looking for people who are looking to dig deeper and to get that diverse viewpoint as you're coming into your history learning. And these are resources you're going to find here, and you're going to get to talk to the people behind them and ask questions and find out more. So you can fly out of here from anywhere and come out and take part and tack on to that, because these are both held in cities that have a lot of great things going on to make a full vacation out
Absolutely. We have spent lots of vacation time in Dallas Fort Worth area. We've got some coming up because I mean, you can go take your dinosaur lover over to Glen Rose. You could your
of
thrill seeker over to Six Flags over Texas.
it.
They're both areas are near and dear to my heart. But as a true Texan, you have favorites in all the cities,
That's
right?
right.
And New Braunfels, you want a classic taste of that German culture. It's so good. Get you some kolaches, tube the river. I mean, you've got
Yes.
options. It's brilliant to have, you know, think of it as more of a, like you said, a vacation, a family inclusive experience, because
Mhm.
I mean, really that's the root of homeschooling. It's about the family, it's about the connections, it's about the fun and the freedom and the getting the work in, right? So the learning, the expo, the vendors, the sessions, but also the fun and that balance. So I think that is just such a wonderful idea to have it in cities that are true one, assets to Texas culture, but they have so much to offer. Just like, homeschoolers are used to being able to go out into the world and do those things. So I think it's a nice balance, a nice play on that. Okay, so what is the cost to attend the expos?
Well, it's a big investment. The cost is $5 per day.
Five
So,
whole
and kids are
dollars.
free.
Kids are free.
So
Okay. I mean, right there, the more kids you take, the better the value, right?
that's
And
right.
and that includes everything.
Yes, that includes access to all the exhibitors, access to all of the educational sessions. So $5 for the entire day. If you come both days, it's $10 for the entire expo per person. It's you really can't beat that price. I mean, that's cheaper than a meal at McDonald's. And you're gonna walk away from here. So the first 500 families that attend each expo actually walk out with a bag that's got all kinds of goodies inside. And so a lot of the exhibitors, I mean, right off the bat, just $5 for a bag is a good deal,
Yeah.
much less all the things that'll be in the bag. And there's discounts and coupons and free previews of different types of curriculum within these bags. And so, I mean, you really can't beat this deal. It is a great way because I want this to be accessible to everyone. We want this to be something that everyone who wants to homeschool should be able to homeschool. And you, as you know, you've shared information on free curriculum and free resources out there so that money doesn't have to be a limiting factor in homeschooling. And I felt the same way when putting on this homeschool expo.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Is parking extra? Parking included?
Free, free
Okay,
parking at both
$5.
locations.
It's such a good deal. It's such a good deal. And then you said you'll have concessions. Are we talking full lunch or are we talking like snacks?
Yes. No, so full concession salads, sandwiches, chips, dessert items, beverages, and so there'll be
Kids foods?
something for
You
all
got
tastes,
kids
all
foods?
very kid friendly. We'll have like I said, there's salads, there's sandwiches, so there's a mix of types of things. There's places to sit down and eat your food, so you can really come all day, plan to stop by the concession stand and grab a bite to eat, get a cup of coffee, and revitalize yourself and keep going.
Coffee's where it's at. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I know I am so excited about some of the vendors and speakers. I had actually reached out to the woman, I cannot recall her name, who runs Grace and Grit Box.
Mhm.
After I read an interview article with her on like CNN or Yahoo about how she felt out of place at a lot of homeschool expos who
Yes.
cater to a slightly different crowd, slightly less inclusive.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to meet her and to attend her session and woke homeschooling. I'm so excited about because it's one of the things I've had on my radar for so long. So to be able to get my hands on it, I'm
Yes.
so excited. I have never attended anything like this, and so I am very excited. The closest thing I've come to is homeschool. Here in Houston, we have the homeschool bookstore, which
Mhm.
again doesn't really cater to our specific market.
Right.
Um, I'm I'm beside myself excited. Like it's gonna be hard to wait another like 5 weeks, but I'll do it. I'll do it. I guess I don't have a choice, so I guess I'll do it.
Well,
Okay,
and you
so
know the really cool thing, both locations have different speakers.
I
And
told you.
so, people can go to both and get all new content and information. I think there's maybe 2 sessions that are the same at both, and everything else is completely different. So, and a lot of the exhibitors are not the same. So, some of them are at both, some are at one or the other. So, make a little road trip. People can plan to attend both of them and get new information at each one.
Amazing. That's absolutely amazing. It's work on your part. You feel it's worth it?
Absolutely worth it.
Pretty
I
good.
love this. This is my favorite thing that I do. It's a passion project. I put this together because it didn't exist and I wanted to go to it. As a homeschooling parent, I just wanted to go to a homeschool expo and look at resources. And I couldn't find one that had the resources I wanted to see. And
Necessity is the
so I
mother of
made
invention. Like,
one.
that is amazing. So, being self-employed, homeschooling your own kids, single parenting. So why not throw in not just one but two location expos? I mean, it makes sense.
Exactly.
That's
Why not?
exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do.
I'm not
Time
known for my
slower.
patience. When I have an idea, I just have to run with it right then and there.
Love it so much. Okay, so you're gonna have like at each one, you'll have probably 2 full days of just intense onness, just all the time. I'm looking forward to bringing you coffee. It's
Thank
be
you.
nice. Wild. I'm so excited. Okay. So, how long do you think people should spend to get the full experience? Obviously, sessions are going all the time, so they
Mhm.
should prioritize what of those they want to attend. But
Exactly. Most people who come tend to spend about 3 to 4 hours. And that's because you get into the conversations. Our exhibitors are there to talk to you. This is not just let me hand you a flyer and keep walking. So you're going to find yourself stopping and talking to an exhibitor and having a conversation about what they're doing. Then you're going to run into another family and you're going to sit and talk with them. And then you're going to get hungry and grab a bite to eat. Then you're going to listen to a session. So prepare to spend several hours because there's just that much good content and you're going to really enjoy it.
some good walking shoes,
Yes,
backpack. Can people bring in
absolutely. Bring a
bottled
backpack,
water?
bring your own drinks, snacks for the kids. It's
Okay, good to
fine.
know. Good to know. Because most places don't let you. Who am I kidding? Okay, so is there anything else that you want to share with us to just let us know either about the Homeschool Expo, the future, maybe if you've already got plans for next year? What is it that you want us to know?
Well, it's an annual thing. It'll be continuing on. I'm already working on like speakers and stuff for 2025 because it's growing. Our location in Grapevine is bursting at the seams. So I'm already exploring how to accommodate even more. We've got exhibitors on wait lists because they just can't fit into the building. And so it's just going to keep growing. If someone is watching and they think I wish I was a part of that event, the website has information not just on how to attend, but also how to be a part of it. So if somebody has a homeschool business and they want to share with other homeschoolers, they also should get on the website and look into how to get involved because that is how this works. You talked about the owner of Grace and Grit. I found her the same way. I saw the article talking about how she didn't fit in at homeschool conventions, and I thought you would fit in at this one. And I reached
Exactly
out.
what I emailed her. I was like, I'm speaking next year. You should look into this because it might be the right fit. That's
Exactly.
amazing. That's amazing.
And so, if people have resources, they should share them because I want this to be as inclusive and to have resources for everyone as much as possible. I say that. I want this to have resources that are inclusive and treat people well. This is not for everyone. Let's be clear. If you want resources that are very exclusionary, that do not cater to everyone, and that have a message that is not open and welcoming, you are probably not going to find that at the Texas Homeschool Expo because that is not what we
My place is for that. And it's okay if yours isn't it.
do. That's right. There's plenty of other places to find those materials.
Easier found too, which is frustrating. Okay. Is there anything else?
No, I just want people to know they can find us online, texashomeschoolexpo.com. We kept it simple. Find us on Facebook. We've got lots of information, and I'm always sharing extra information on Facebook about homeschool curriculum sales and discounts. And so just good resources all the time. So can find us on Facebook or on our website. Tickets are available now for our 2024 events. And again, it's just $5. So why not?
That is so
Skip that
great.
day's McDonald's run and just come here instead.
More worthwhile. I mean, $5 for 4 hours. That's a better deal.
But yeah,
Okay.
other than that, I just want people to come and to know that there's great resources out there for them. We want you, and other people are think like you. So come out with like-minded folks.
I know that it can be really hard as secular homeschoolers to find our place. So thank you for creating a place. Looking forward to networking and seeing people and seeing things. And I am so excited to meet you for real in person.
That's right. And for everybody who's seen you here online all these times, they can come and meet you in person too, because you're speaking both days of our new
I
Braunfels
I will
Expo.
be there. I am so tempted to bring my camera and set it up in the corner so that I'm so nervous. There is no greater, I think, imposter syndrome that I have ever experienced than I'm like going through this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I start with that, like, disclaimer. I am not an expert. So
That's what
wild to
people
me.
want, though. People love hearing from people who have their boots on the ground. You're not just some expert who studied something in college and is coming to tell us what a book said. You're here to share with people real life experience. And that's what people need, is to know that real person is really doing it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I've got my outlines going and they're so long. And I'm like, okay, because I know I have to add more because I talk fast. And so
Yes.
I know that I'll just like 20 minutes and be
I'm
like,
the same way. I'm the same way. I plan out something. I'm like, okay, this will be an hour. Then I get up to do it and I'm done in like 40 minutes. And I'm like, but that was an hour's worth at home. You get in front of people and you just speed up.
especially if you're standing, you get a little nervous. Yeah.
But people are
I'm,
going to have questions.
oh,
It's
yeah, for sure.
interactive. People
For
get
sure.
to ask questions, they get to share their own experiences. So it's so interactive.
It's going to be amazing. I know that I am bringing some printable that I have designed for myself that I am planning to share. Hopefully, super fancy through like a QR code scan, if I can figure out
Nice.
technology. So, all
Very
right.
cool.
All right, Jasmine, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. I appreciate it so much. I'm looking forward to all of this. And I hope that, if nothing else, if somebody is watching this in Australia, I hope it lights a spark because maybe there's a need other places and maybe you're
Yes.
just the person they needed to hear from. So thank you for doing the hard work. Thank you for doing the big things and for tackling all of it because single mom homeschooling, you can do it.
It's right. Anybody can. Just put the time and the effort in and you can make great things happen.
That's absolutely right. Thank you, ma'am. I look forward to seeing you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, I am so excited. I am so excited to attend. I am so excited to see so many vendors. I'm so excited to be in a space that is incredibly inclusive for secular homeschoolers, for any homeschoolers, that is not exclusionary, that is built up on the notion that we can all do this. Jasmine and I, as you heard in the interview, share the same thought that cost should not be something that prohibits you from homeschooling. So I'm excited to see the options that are available. If you get a chance to purchase a ticket and head on out, swing by. If you see me, say hi. Guys, I'm so excited. So thank you again to Jasmine for coming and chatting with me. Let me know, do you have access to resources like this in your area? Is there a secular option? Is there at least an inclusive option? That would be good to know. Can you put the location or information in the comments? Don't forget that links tend to get flagged, but if you could put the name, that way, if there is something that is close to you, you might be able to find out about it from someone here because you guys are such an amazing wealth of information. I always learn something new because you come here and choose to share with me. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Don't forget to share if you have a resource like this near you.